హలో మేడం.
శివాజీ మేడం లేనండి.
మేడము
ఉన్నారు మేడం ఉన్నట్టున్నారు.
హలో
మేడం. మేడం
వినిపిస్తుందా?
లైట్ గా వినిపిస్తుంది మేడం మీ వాయిస్.
ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుంది.
లైట్ గా వినిపిస్తుంది, ఎక్కడో దూరంగా ఉన్నట్టు ఫోన్.
అదంటే మైక్రోఫోన్స్ పెట్టుకున్నాను, అవి పనిచేయట్లేదేమో.
ఓకే మేడం.
హలో, గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఎవరీవన్.
గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ మేడం.
వినిపిస్తుందా ఇప్పుడు?
ఓకే మేడం.
Okay, in the last class you have seen about multispectral image sensing systems, and today we'll see about thermal sensing systems. Thermal scanner is one of the most important thermal sensing systems. So for sensing the objects, scanners will be used. In case of thermal sensing system, thermal scanners are used. It is a kind of across-track multispectral scanner. The last class we have already seen the across-track and along-track multispectral scanners, and this is also a kind of across-track scanner. It senses in the thermal portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. That's why it is called a thermal scanner. Thermal portion which is occupied by a certain wavelength in the electromagnetic spectrum, and it is sensed by using detectors. These systems are restricted to operate in either 3 to 5 micrometers or 8 to 14 micrometers range of wavelengths. The operation and the efficiency of this type of scanning systems are based on the characteristics of the detectors. Quantum or photon detectors are typically used to detect the thermal radiation. These detectors operate on the principle of direct interaction between photons of radiation incident on them and the energy levels of electrical charge carries within the detector material. So these type of materials will be operated based on the principle of photons that is coming from the sun radiation and which is incident on the objects and the energy levels of electrical charge carries within the detector material. The spectral sensitivity range and the operating temperatures of 3 photon detectors are given here. So in this table, you can see 3 types of detectors and their spectral range is given. First one is mercury doped germanium, abbreviated as GeHg. Ge stands for germanium and Hg for mercury. And it is useful in the spectral range of 3 to 14 micrometers. And second one is indium antimonide, abbreviated as INSB, and it's it is in the spectral range of 3 to 5 micrometers. The last one is mercury cadmium telluride, abbreviated as HgCdTe, MCT, mercury cadmium telluride, which is in the it is useful in the spectral range of 8 to 14 micrometers. This is all these wavelengths will come under thermal radiation, thermal region. Okay? So there is a figure given here which illustrates the basic operation of a thermal scanner system. How the thermal scanner works. The thermal scanner image is a pictorial representation of the detector response on a line-by-line basis. The usual convention when looking at the Earth's surface is to have higher radiant temperature areas displayed as lighter toned image areas. That is, the higher radiant temperature areas displayed as lighter in the image, it will be seen as light toned image. The area is having highest temperature will be seen in the image as light tone. Light tone means it is in light color. Okay. Geometrical characteristics of both along track and across track scanner imageries and radiometric calibrations of these sensing systems should be considered in the design of the thermal scanning systems. So in the multispectral imaging systems, we have already studied about along track scanners and across track scanner imageries. And radiometric calibration are also used for this type of thermal scanning systems. The geometrical characteristics of across-track scanner imagery such as light, spatial resolution and ground coverage, tangential scale distortions, resolution cell size variations, and one-dimensional relief displacement are some of the geometrical parameters to be considered in the design of thermal and multispectral scanners. This is the figure given for across-track thermal scanner schematic picture. So here first one is the thermal infrared energy from the ground is radiated from it is radiated. The energy coming from the ground is taken as the source. And second one is the scanner mirror. It scans the energy, thermal energy. A drive motor is there, and then the scanner optics will be there. And fourth one is a thermal infrared detector, which detects the thermal infrared energy, and from which an electrical signal will be passed to the electronic system, based on which the thermal energy is sensed. Radiometric calibration of thermal scanners can be performed through a number of approaches and each has its own degree of accuracy. Methods used are internal blackbody source referencing and air to ground calibration. These are the methods used. The description and other principles of these methods are described. Next one is microwave imaging system. Fundamental principle of microwave sensing and the conceptual design of radar. That is being discussed in the chapter 3, where it is stated that the microwave region of the electromagnetic spectrum includes the radiation with wavelengths more than 1 mm. Microwave instruments don't rely on the detection of solar or terrestrial emissions. The following sections of this chapter the properties of the operational synthetic aperture radar systems and radar sat systems are presented. along with other sensing systems. This is about microwave imaging systems. Next one is Earth resources satellites. So there are three types of Earth resource satellites are there. The first group of satellites record visible and near visible wavelengths. The five satellites of Landsat series, which are the first generation Earth resource satellites, are a classic example of this group. The four IRS satellites and the more improved Spot series of these satellites may be considered the second generation Earth resource satellites of the same group. Group 2 satellites carry sensors that record thermal infrared wavelengths and include the heat capacity mapping mission satellites like through the series. Group 3 satellites are deployed with sensors that record microwave wavelengths. The CSAT series and the ERS are examples of this third group. This is a Landsat satellite program about which National Aeronautics and Space Administration, that is NASA of USA, with the cooperation of US Department of Interior, planned the launching of a series of Earth resources technology satellites. ERTS-1 was launched by a Thaw Delta rocket on July 23rd, 1972, and it is operated until January 6, 1978. It represented the first unnamed satellite designed to acquire data about the Earth resources on a systematic, repetitive, medium resolution multispectral basis. Subsequently, NASA renamed the ERTS program as Landsat program to distinguish it from the series of meteorological and oceanographic satellites that the USA launched later. So the Landsat program is which comes under ERTS, Earth Resource Technology Satellites. ERTS 1 was retrospectively named Landsat 1. 5 Landsat satellites have been launched so far, and this experimental program has evolved into a operational global resource monitoring program. Three different types of sensors have been Three different types of sensors have been flown in various combinations on the 5 missions. These are return beam Vidicon, that is RBB camera system, the multispectral scanner system, and the thematic mapper. There is a table given here in which the characteristics of Landsat 1 through 5 and the sensors used on these satellites and orbital characteristics. Landsat images have found a large number of applications such as agriculture, botany, cartography, civil engineering, environmental monitoring, forest resource analysis, land use planning, oceanography and water quality analysis. Next one is Spot Satellite Program. France, Sweden, and Belgium joined together and pooled up their resources to develop the system to develop the system Puri Kalpol Observation de la Terre, that is SPOT, an Earth Resource Observation Satellite Program. The first satellite of the series, SPOT 1, was launched from Kourou Launch Range in French Guiana on February 21st, 1986. Aboard an Ariane C launch vehicle, this is the first Earth resource satellite system to include a linear array sensor employing the push broom scanning technique. This enables side-to-side off-nozzle viewing. This enables side-to-side off-nozzle viewing capabilities and efforts to full-scene stereoscopic imaging from two different viewing points of the same area. The high-resolution data obtained from spot sensors, namely thematic mappers and high-resolution visible HRV, have been extensively used in the conventional applications related to and these type of thematic mapper, that is the high resolution data obtained from spot sensors. Thematic mapper and high resolution have been extensively used for urban planning, urban growth assessment, transportation planning. Here the characters of spot satellite and HRV sensors are given in the table 4.2. This is the table 4.1. The characteristics of Landsat satellites and their stations are given here. Particulars. So these are the different type of satellites: Landsat 1, 2, 3, and Landsat 4 and 5. Altitude is 919 for first category and it is 705 kilometers for the second category. Orbit near polar synchronous. Near pole are sun synchronous. Near pole are both are near pole are sun synchronous. Next one is sensors capabilities. First one is RBB type of sensor. Mission is Landsat 1 to 3. Channel is 1 to 3 4. Spectral resolution microns. That is the range of radio waves. Here the spectral spatial resolution and spatial resolution uh, and radiometric resolution are given in the table. These are the characteristics of spot and HRV sensor satellite sensors. Here polar sun synchronous. Altitude is 832. Inclination equating graph line. sorry, repeat cycle are given here. Next one is the HRV sensor and pantomatic sensor. Next one is panchromatic, spatial resolution, radiometric, that with up angular field of view of Nadir Bayovi. Next one is spatial resolution, radiometric resolution, where its angular field of view of four spectral bands in the visible and near infrared region. The camera system consists of collecting optics, imaging detectors, in-flight calibration equipment, and processing devices. Orbital characteristics of the IRS-1A, 1B satellites and the sensor capabilities are given in the figure. As IRS-ID satellite is the latest satellite of the series, and hence the system overview of IRS-ID is provided. The IRS-ID is a three-axis body stabilized satellite similar to IRS-1C. And the one dimension are similar in orbital characteristics and secondary sensor capabilities. Details of IRS-1D are discussed as it is a very recent satellite. It will have an operational life of 3 years in a near polar asynchronous orbit at a similar to IRS-1C, since IRS-1C and IRS-1D are similar in orbital characteristics and sensor capabilities. The details of IRS-1D are discussed as it is a very recent satellite. I will have an operational life of 3 years in a new. It will have an operational life of 3 years in a near polar synchronous orbit at a mean altitude of 780 kilometers. The payload consists of three sensors, namely panchromatic camera, linear imaging, and self-sensing sensor. While we sensor the satellite the satellite is equipped with an onboard tape recorder capable of recording limited amount of specified sensor data. Operation or which of the series the satellite is equipped with an onboard tape recorder capable of recording limited amount of specified sensor data. Operation of each of these sensors can be programmed. The payload operation sequence for the whole day can be loaded daily on the onboard command memory when the satellite is within the visibility range. The ground segment consists of a telemetry one. The ground segment consists of a telemetry tracking system and hello, is it audible? Hello.
Yes, madam.
Okay, ma'am. Operation of each of these sensors can be programmed. The payload operation sequence for the whole day can be loaded daily on the onboard command memory when the satellite is within the visibility range. The ground segment consists of a telemetry tracking and command segment comprising of a TTC network and an image segment comprising data acquisition, data processing and product generation system along with the data dissemination center. The overview of IRS-1D satellite mission is to provide optimum satellite operation and a mission control center for mission management, spacecraft operations and scheduling. Okay. These sensors onboard are used for the following. Infrared camera provides data with a spatial resolution of 5.2 to 5.8 meters and a ground swath between 60 to 70 kilometers. It operates in the 0.5 to 0.05 micron spectrum. Camera can be treated up to -26 degrees. And this camera can be steered up to ±26 degrees. Storable up to ±398 kilometers across the track from Nadir, which in turn increases the revisit capability to 3 days for most part of the cycle and 7 days in some extreme cases. Table 4.4 shows the specifications and resolutions of Specification and relation of pan. Figure 4.1 shows the pan image.
ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ మేడం.
Hello.
హలో
చెప్పండి.
మేడం ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ ఉంది మేడం 4కి.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. అటెండెన్స్ పంపించండి.
అలానే మేడం. ఆల్ ప్రెజెంట్ మేడం అటెండెన్స్.
అదే కొంచెం మెసేజ్లో పెట్టిండు అంటే డేట్ చూసుకుంటాను. ఆల్ ప్రెజెంట్.
ఓకే మేడం.